Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. I got several clips I wanted to share with y'all today, some things I thought were interesting, and even a couple things that were funny, including this first clip. Hakeem Jeffries tries to lie his ass off, tries to obfuscate, tries to misdirect. You know how the Democrats do. Oh, dead eyes didn't work for the reporter today, and this is not just an average reporter. This is a mainstream media CNBC reporter. Just basically called him out and basically told him he was full of shit in so many ways. Really a good monologue coming back, or good debate back and forth here. Gets a little heated at first, and then she just shuts him down. I love it, I love it. But I got several other things to show you today, besides the fact that Hakeem Jeffries can't speak to anybody without lying or looking a fool. Let's throw him another sombrero and a Mexican mustache and play some music for him and get him on down the road. Hakeem Jeffries, I hate to say it, is probably going to be the leader of the Democrat Party at one point. And this guy is like Adam Schiff. He just lies. And I'm hoping more people see through it. Obviously, mainstream media is starting to wade through the bullshit of having to support the Democrats to the point that they're now looking so ridiculous that they're starting to call out some of the lies themselves. And I'm glad to see it. But let's go ahead and get into it, folks. Like I said, I got several things to tell y'all, including something that passed today that doesn't mean a whole lot. All right. Hakeem Jeffries gets owned. Talking about this Obamacare, he's still pushing for it. He must be Obama's buddy. Not just Dollar Store Obama, but Obama's buddy. He wants this ACA, this Unaffordable Care Act, to continue at all costs. That's the only reason he come on the show, was to talk that crap up.
If you want to get done, you are going to need at least some Republicans to come over. Why not start with a one-year extension or potentially even a two-year extension?
Well, Leader Schumer offered a one-year extension in the context of trying to end the Trump Republican shutdown.
Yeah, but that's different. But I'm talking about what you have now. Let's not go back to what's done in the past and what has not been extended. If you want to get something that has actually done, you need to do something that will have bipartisan.
You can ask me the question. You can ask me the question. I'll provide the answer.
Answer the question instead of going back.
I'll provide the answer. No. I'm providing an answer in order to provide context. Republicans have repeatedly refused to take yes for an answer. It was a very reasonable multi-year extension that was offered. It was a one-year straight extension plus a multi-year process through a bipartisan commission to more permanently resolve the Affordable Care Act issue. So having that context is absolutely important, regardless of what you may think.
It's important context to make me realize that I don't think you want to get a deal done. I think this is something where you'd like to see the rates go higher and allow the Republicans to hang themselves with that. Is that the answer?
That's absolutely a ridiculous assertion. And really, shame
3
on
years
you
is not going to get passed, so what do you do?
Shame on you for saying that. Because we're fighting. It's not a partisan issue for us. In fact, the states that are most impacted as it relates to an Affordable Care Act tax credit expiration are all Republican states. We're talking about West Virginia, Wyoming, Alaska, Mississippi, right? Tennessee. Over and over and over again, we can go through the list. That's why you probably have
some Republicans who would sign on if you guys could come up with something that actually looks like a bipartisan deal.
Listen, this is not a partisan fight for us. It's a patriotic fight.
She wasn't having none of his crap. He went a long way around not to answer that question. He couldn't say that he's going to need Republicans, which the math says if you're going to get anything done, you think you're going to take the majority. Either way, you're trying to pass something. We may not let it come to the floor. If we do, without any Republican support, you ain't getting squat because we got the numbers. And that's all she was trying to ask him. What are you going to do if the Republicans won't work with you? He couldn't even give her a straight-up answer. We got a plan. That would have been easier. We got a plan. Dude's an idiot. He's horrible at lying. And I think his soul has left his body a long time ago. Every time I look into this guy's eyes, I think, God, he just looks, he's creepy. You know who I'm talking about? This Dollar Store Obama is creepy looking. There's something wrong with this dude. I don't think he blinks, or there's something in his facial expression that just, maybe I'm wrong, but he just seems like an evil character. If you wanted to have a villain with a creepy looking face in a movie, just put a hood on that guy. Pull his hood off. Let everybody see his creepy eyes. Everybody know that was the villain. Well, a lot of people are celebrating today the fact that the House just voted 285 to 98 to denounce socialism, and this was right before Mamdani showed up to chat with Trump today. And it looks like Mamdani, if he wants federal funds, he's going to have to bend the knee and deal with Trump and Trump's policies. And when he starts trying to fight the system with all these crazy programs, Trump says we're going to have to deal with it. So we're going to have to see how that goes. But they were both cordial today. Jack Sobek did light him up a few times about white privilege when it comes to taxes, or lack of white privilege when it comes to being taxed. Want to take the rich white people in New York and charge them more money to live in areas so we can have more money for the other communities. Jack Sobek lit him up pretty good about that one. He didn't really have a good answer, but you're welcome to go check that out. It's everywhere on over here on X and on YouTube. Very viral clip today. Figure y'all probably already seen it, but I went in and I Googled what this 199 Republicans and 86 Democrats voted for this bill. So it was 285 for the yays to denounce socialism and block it nationwide, and 98 nays. So this is what that means. It means that 85 Democrats lied. The 86 Democrats lied. No doubt about it. How do we know this? Because they're all wolves. They may be in sheep's clothing and saying, we denounce socialism. But in reality, everybody that agreed to this bill knows this is just symbolic. This is just customary. This is not going to change one thing in America to stop socialism, to deter socialism. This is just basically like wearing your American flag pin when you're in Congress, even though you're a communist sympathizer. Just playing the game. So we've got 98 Democrats that are like, yep, we're full-blown communists. We don't care what you think. We don't give a shit what you think. Yeah, we support socialism, communism, the whole destruction of America. And then you got the other 86 that are like, nope, since it's just customary, let's go ahead and put our sheep's wool back on and play the game. I believe that's what happened here today. But AI says it's just symbolic in nature. The resolution is non-binding and does not legally block socialism nationwide. Contrary to the Post claims, it serves more as a symbolic gesture denouncing socialism. Now, I just thought I'd bring that to y'all. That this doesn't mean a hill of beans when it comes right down to actual policy change or anything that's going to be done. It's just a matter of saying, we don't agree with this. Okay, let's take a vote. How many people don't agree? That's it. That was the extent of it. I figured there would be something in there that would help on a federal level, on a local level. Nothing. Well, folks, on to other news. Just in, this Democrat representative from Florida, Sheila Sharifas McCormick, says she was indicted for stealing $5 million for FEMA because she's black. Now, if I had to guess before I ever knew what color she was or heard this part of the story, I would just have to assume if you're a Democrat and you get caught red-handed doing the fraud, the mortgage fraud, the stealing the money, the weaponizing, if you get caught doing something, Democrats have only got a couple of reactions. They're picking on me because it's weaponization from Trump. Or it's because y'all are racist and I'm black is why this is happening. So when you steal money and you're white, how does that go? When you steal money and you're black, oh, well, you're a racist for catching me in the act? Come on, man. Just expected. More than anything, expected. That's what Democrats do with it. If the white Democrats could scream racism, they would. And so all the ones that are melanated in any kind of way, that's the first thing they claim, especially when they get any kind of rebuttal to anything like, we caught you in a crime. Y'all was looking at me, trying to figure out if I was criminal, because of the color of my skin. That's how y'all found out I was a criminal. So it don't count. Come on, man. Too crazy, folks. That's what's really going on.
Your thoughts on the indictment, please.
Well, it's an unjust indictment, and it seems like these intimidation tactics have been pervasive. We spent all week seeing different members getting censured, all in hopes of intimidating and kind of distracting from the Epstein files.
This is all about being pervasive and trying to intimidate. I'm sorry, the volume's low on this one for some reason. It says they're trying to be pervasive and intimidating. It's all because of their racism. All right.
And I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black people,
If this is what Congress is becoming with their tactics,
brown people, then we're going to have to keep fighting.
going against black people,
Fighting has been giving me so much support, and we're going to keep fighting until the district gets what it needs, which is fair prices, housing, and fair representation of Congress.
Did
So
you
thank you
use
so much.
improperly?
we're going to keep fighting because the problem here ain't me and the money I stole. It's Congress. Congress is the one that's got a chip on their, it's got a problem or a chip on their shoulder, or too many white dudes, or people that just hating on me because I'm a thief with the wrong skin color. See, if I was a white thief, it'd be okay, right? That's the white privilege insinuation there. Yeah, that stuff burns me up. I don't know what the heck white privilege is. I think that's just something they made up. I don't have any white privilege. I work for a living. I feel privileged to wake up alive and have people around me that love me, and that's enough. Glad to have my health. Glad to have my family. But the color of my skin always seemed irrelevant. I don't know how people got it in their heads that white people have it better. White men have been hated on in this country for the last 4 years. The Democrat Party has made it their business to call men toxic masculinity, and try to, I guess, make white men less white, one way or another. And in the end, I think they pushed a lot of normal white guys away from them, and now the Democrats are like, well, we don't have much of a voter base anymore, especially if we don't get these illegals to vote for us. So I guess we're going to have to start being nice to the white guys that we hated on for 4 years and called them white privilege. How do we go about doing that again? God only knows, folks. Now, this here video is a little bit long, and I have played it before. And this is the real reason they want you to hate Donald Trump. And this is actually a shorter version. I played you the whole 30-minute version. A year or so ago, I remember quite well this guy's voice. But he's absolutely right. There's no doubt in my mind. This guy is telling it like it is. Let's give this one a listen.
Everyone's in on the Great Reset. Well, almost everyone. There's one guy who's got the power to do something to stop it, and he knows
This is actually a couple-year-old video, so keep that in mind when listening.
exactly where I'm going. And they made a mistake. They tried to get Trump on their side, so they invited Donald Trump to Davos, I think a couple of times. But in January, when Donald Trump, I think, really began to see the beast that he was up against, he went to Davos, to the World Economic Forum, and he stuck a mega finger in their eye.
We're committed to conserving the majesty of God's creation and the natural beauty of our world. But to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country.
2 days after Donald Trump gave that speech, the 89-year-old leftist weirdo billionaire George Soros made an emergency intervention where, at Davos, once again, warning that the U.S. 2020 election will determine the, quote, fate of the whole world. Now, in the context of Davos, take a look at this one more time. This is a month after Donald Trump addressed Davos and stuck the MAGA finger in their face. Here's what Francis, the Vatican, and Jeffrey Sachs had to say in response.
And it is a dangerous country. right now. It will be absolutely dangerous if Trump wins re-election. Trump wins re-election. Trump wins re-election.
Francis invited this guy to the Amazon Synod as an honored guest and advisor. He's also Bernie Sanders' advisor. What's he doing in the Vatican? Why is this guy who's a promoter for socialist, out and out socialist, Bernie Sanders, what's he doing advising the Pope? Why does he have entree to the Vatican, friends? Sachs supports abortion and contraception, but that's not a problem for the Vatican. For the Vatican, for Pope Francis, and for his friends at the UN, Donald Trump is the problem, obviously, friends.
Clearly, I consider the Trump administration a danger to the world, but I regard it as a purely temporary phenomenon that will disappear in 2020.
Do you get it? Do you see why there's so much hate for Trump? Because with all of his faults, again, he's the capitalist. He's not the globalist. He never will be one of them, which is why he pulled the United States out of the Paris Climate Agreement. Donald Trump pulled the United States out of the World Health Organization. That's Bill Gates and company. And now he's threatening to pull the United States out of the World Trade Organization. People say, yeah, well, Donald Trump got married twice. He's a bad guy. Really? He's right in the face of the demons on this, friends. Nobody ever said he was a saint. He's knocking the sacred cows of the United Nations down all over the world right now.
The General Assembly routinely votes 185 against the United States on almost everything right now.
And you remember, speaking of the United Nations, in November of 2019, again, right before COVID landed, Trump went to the UN, on the floor of the General Assembly, and he declared war on globalism.
Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists.
That's right.
The future belongs to patriots.
Yes.
And shortly after the speech at the UN, Donald Trump delivered, what do you think happened? The coronavirus was unleashed on the world, and Trump's booming U.S. economy went on life support. Do you think that was an accident?
Nope.
So when they tell you, when they tell all of us to stay home, wear your mask so grandma doesn't get sick, please understand what's really going on here. They don't care about your grandmother. They don't care about old people, these people. They don't care about babies. They want them aborted so that they can save the common home. Abort babies, millions of them all over the world. They don't care about babies. They don't care about old people. In fact, if you want to save your grandma, tell the globalists to stay the hell away from her. You remember how some of them, like Cuomo and characters like this, were running COVID recovering patients through nursing homes? That's how much they care about grandma.
Yeah.
And the name of the game now is to bring the United States economy to its knees, get it out of the way, so that everyone will want the Great Reset. Make the new normal so intolerably abnormal that even you and I, maybe, at some point in the near future, will be begging for the vaccines because we'll be driven crazy by that point. Begging for whatever else is going to keep us safe according to our jailers and our handlers and our zookeepers. You see? That's what they want. That's why they keep using this term, new normal. You know what we do to fight back? Go to work. Go back to school. If you're healthy, take off the mask. And for heaven's sake, go back to church and pray that Trump wins in November. That's what the reset was all about. That's what the Russia hoax was all about. That's what the impeachment hoax was all about. Don't you see? For 4 years, they've been trying to stop this man because if he strengthens America, if he makes it great again, if he brings the economy back again, the reset won't happen. The New World Order is going to be set way back. Who knows when they're going to have another COVID opportunity like this one again, and they know it. So ask yourselves why they hate this man. These folks, these men, they hate God. They hate the unborn. They hate the traditional family. They hate you. And they hate Donald Trump, whose political opponents, by the way, right now are knocking statues of saints to the ground. They're beating up cops, and they're burning flags. You say you don't like Trump. I'm sorry, friends, but who cares? That doesn't really matter anymore. What you think of Trump's personality or his tweets. Look at the big picture. The choice is simple, friends. Stand with America right now, or fall with the New World Order in the not-so-distant future. There's no other choice. I'm Michael Matt for Remnant TV, and we'll see you next week.
What a powerful message. Like I said, I've played this before. Actually, I think I played the full version. But this is absolutely true. They swung it. They done their best to destroy this country the minute that Donald Trump stepped into office by trying to take him apart, trying to rob him of his power, trying to imprison him and impeach him during his first time. So he was steadily bombarded with things that he had to deal with instead of running the country. And that was the plan from the get-go. They had a plan to get him out because they couldn't believe that Barack Obama's Hillary Clinton didn't win, and just the whole upset. They turned on him like a bunch of rabid wolves. That's what the Democrat parties are. They are like wolves. They run in packs. They stick together till one of them's wounded, and then, boy howdy, that one's the next one to die. That's the way it goes. Dog world with the Democrats. And Republicans don't play that mean. They play a lot nicer game. And because of it, a lot of times we fall behind just because the game's rigged against us. And I just like clips like this because they help expose that, bring it out. This was the Cloward Piven plan, the globalist agenda, the New World Order, all coming to a head behind the COVID, which was, in my heart of hearts, believed by design. And they figured the best time to unleash it is right now because of who was in office. And so they snuggled up Dr. Fauci to Trump and had him whisper in Trump's ear and run all over the world and whisper in everybody else's ear. And Fauci got rich, lied to the world, and the pandemic just happened in a hurry. But as fast as people quit talking about it, it went away. That was the strange part. I think the media got paid a lot of money to lie about the numbers and to fudge the numbers, just like the hospitals did. But we won't go down that road too far. I like to keep my channel a little while longer. That's one of the few topics still that you can't say much about here on ScrewTube because they're still worried that, I guess, Dr. Fauci's going to jail. I don't know. Maybe they're friends of Fauci at this point. Who really knows? I think the problem is they were complacent. Now, a lot of times I see these tweets on X, and people say, this is what I voted for, and it'd be a really good clip, or a good speech by Trump, or something happening like the drug boats getting blowed up. This is what I voted for. I've seen that a lot of times, and this is one of those videos where I would say, this is what I voted for. Check it out.
President, if you are declaring war against these cartels and Congress is likely to approve of that process, why not just ask for a declaration of war?
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. They're going to be like dead. Okay? Yeah.
Now that is what I voted for, folks. I'm so ready to get these fentanyl junkies, sources out of this country. These people will sober up when they can no longer find fentanyl on the streets. When the cartels are afraid to try to continue to traffic all this stuff into our country because they're afraid they're going to get blowed up on the way, things will slow down. Slowly but surely, the FBI and the DEA and the ATF have been kicking in a lot of doors, blowing up a lot of boats. We're over 20 now, 2 submarines and about 18 boats, I think is the count right now. But they're going after the fentanyl precursors. They're doing everything they can to cut them off at the knees, catch them at the source, and destroy them with superior firepower when we catch them in the act. And I'm just glad to hear it. I'm glad Trump is not effing around with these folks. They are now in the find out stage of what happens to you try to bring that shit in our country. They've already had 20 examples of found out. Now, I'm guessing that will continue just because the cartel thinks people are expendable over the boat full of drugs. But I like Trump's stance on a lot of things. A little bit braggadocious, a little bit over the top, but at the same time, always strong in his resolve. And that's what makes him such a good president. F around and find out, F them, feed them fish head. That's just kind of Trump's attitude, and I'm glad to see it. I don't think we'll ever have another meek president again. I think it'll be either a rabid dog Democrat, or it will be somebody that can tell the news, hey, fake news, shut up, tell the truth, and then throw a truth bomb on it they can't shake off. All right, last clip of the day, folks. Let y'all get back to y'all's wonderful lives on a Friday afternoon. Says everybody stop and watch what Mr. President Trump just posted. He posted this out, maybe to troll Zelensky, maybe not. But this is the American Dream video put out on Truth hours ago, this morning actually. It's the white picket fence, rocking chair on the porch, kids playing in the yard, American flag out front, family dinners, all under the same roof that you own. Without a home, you can't have any of this. You can't even have a family. You can't have grandkids. That's the thing that brings true happiness. This is why we're working so hard to make home ownership great again. We must fight against the generational destruction of American dream and reclaim it for future generations. This is the battle. And Benny's had a couple of videos lately about the necessity of home ownership, and I agree wholeheartedly. Me personally, I rent as we speak, but I'm saving because I want to own a piece of property one day where I can pay property taxes once a year versus, which I think is a sham, versus monthly rent. Because I'm not getting any younger, you know, folks. It's great to have a go-to plan for when we get too old to work. Because Social Security ain't going to be enough for a lot of us. But that is what it is. We'll talk about that in a few more years when I get a little more dust or a little more dust on the roof, or frost on the roof, as they say. This video is called The American Dream, and I thought it was just too good. Gotta love it. Let me scroll up a little bit here.
Our families, we built a strong economy, so every American can plant roots, not just the privileged.
Back it up.
The American dream isn't a headline. It's not a handout or a hashtag. It's a porch light left on, a flag out front. It's what you earn through hard work and what you're free to build when your leaders put you first. I've never forgotten that. From day one, I fought for the American worker. To protect our homes, our families, we built a strong economy. So every American can plant roots, not just the privileged few, the Sunday dinners, the backyard ball games, the pride of owning a piece of this incredible nation.
That's right.
That's what we're fighting to protect. That's the spirit we're bringing back. And behind it all, you've got great partners, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, helping families turn hard work into home ownership, helping Americans turn dreams into something lasting, something truly their own. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, keepers of the American dream. The American dream isn't a headline. It's not a handout or a...
Oh, that was a hell of an endorsement, wasn't it? But I do agree with what Trump is saying here. We all like to have the American dream, be able, when we get old from working our entire lives, to be able to have money to go on vacation at times and have enough money to retire on, so we're not scraping to get by when we get too old to be able to go out and make another dollar. And that's coming for all of us, so it is something definitely to consider. Not that I am good at giving any financial advice or anything, but it doesn't hurt to never forget that we're not promised tomorrow. But if you don't plan for